Welcome back to Chris Greenhill's Garage. I'm Chris, and I'm the only Chris in this video. It's another solo adventure because the boy was in Colorado for essentially this entire thing. He quite literally showed up the last 5 minutes to hold a crowbar while I finished this up. Typical teenage work ethic, am I right? Anyway, in this video, I spent entirely way too much time screwing up and trying to fix my Mac Pro Chamber off-road H-pipe, X-pipe, whatever you want to call it, trying to get it lined up and get it sealed up. Sort of kind of succeeded, sort of kind of failed. And then I got new tailpipes for the car and put them on, which did not go well, and I had to fix them and change them. Anyway, I ended up with custom black tailpipes. I hope you'll check it out. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is time for more exhaust work. Hello, Jubilee, one of the many shop cats around here. Anyway, I went and picked up some new tailpipes for the black car, and to my surprise, I thought they were advertised as stock tailpipes, but having just handled the 2 1/4, these look like they're 2 1/2, and they're mandrel bent. These are not stock pipes. Let me get a caliper and confirm that. Did I say I was going to measure these? Just kidding. I can't find a caliper anywhere. So, guess we're back to the eyeball method. This sure does look like it's 2 1/2 when compared to the H-pipe. That's a good sign. Considering that I can actually slide this tailpipe over the 2 1/4 stock tailpipe, this is definitely a 2 1/2 incher. What a plot twist. M. Night Shyamalan couldn't write something like that. I went to buy 2 1/4 stock beater tailpipes, dirt cheap, and got good quality mandrel bent 2 1/2s for the car. I like it. My plan is to put the wire wheel to them and see if they'll polish up and clean up. And if they will, if they'll look good sticking out the back of the car, at least be somewhat bright and shiny, then I'm going to do that. If that doesn't work, I'm going to rough them up and I'm going to put some flat black exhaust paint on them and just have black tailpipes. I think these will ultimately turn out all right, but I've tried a couple of different types of chemical assistance and nothing's worked, so it's just me and the wire wheel, and the rest of my life apparently this is going to take forever. I went ahead and spray painted the hangers black with some high temp paint, and then I'll grind all the overspray off the pipes, but it's not really going to make it any longer because these things are pretty funky. This has taken a very long time, and there are a lot of spots in these pipes that just have a lot of pitting that is not coming out. They might be decent 20-footers, but I'm not really sure this is going to work. I might just go ahead and spray paint them black and be done with it. They're not really wanting to come out all that well. You can see like that just is not coming out at all. There's a lot of that around here, a lot of pitting. They sat around for a long time. I'm not sure they're ever going to look really decent. This is not going the way I had hoped. A lot of this stuff just won't come out at all. The best thing I found is this cotton metal silver polish stuff. It did the best by far. It's even better than the wire wheel, but it just can't touch some of the stuff. They're never going to look great. I've gotten this one halfway done, but it's a lot of time, effort, and investment. I'm thinking about just painting them black. I'm not sure. I should have checked this other pipe before I put so much time into this. This is a fairly deep rust patch, and it's got several deep pit marks in it. I don't think this one's ever going to really polish out very well. I might just knock the top layer of rust off it. And this is kind of swaying me towards black. Well, that's not good. That deep rust patch is actually a hole. If you look through the pipe, you can actually see light coming through it a little. Time to get the welder out. This is not going well. I'm going to have to patch this. This is just blowing open bigger and bigger as I go. Did not have to make a patch. I was able to finally get down some good clean metal, and I just built a bead up on top of it, ground it down a little bit, and that's it. Didn't have to use any exterior metal. It's not pretty, but it's a plug and there's no light transmission through it, so I'm happy. This pipe is not cleaning up anywhere near as well as the other one. This has a lot more pitting in it. It's in a lot worse condition, whether it shows up on camera or not. Put a bunch of time into it, and I mean, that one weld spot, the one rust hole, is kind of indicative of how everything is. There are no other holes, but it's not in great condition. So I am just gonna paint them black and call it good, and be a little different. I guess I'll have black exhaust pipes on my car. Oh, there we are. They're painted up, at least to the very tips. I've got a weld on that anyway, so I'm just leaving them open, but there are the exhaust pipes. Not sure how long they'll look like that. These don't run as hot as a muffler. I know the paint burns off the mufflers pretty quick, but hopefully this will last a little while. And if it doesn't, it's no big deal. It's not like the car is gorgeous. I did what I do best. I acted without thinking. I need to take these down to the auto parts store and buy some weld-on adapters to put them on the black car, but the paint is wet. Good job, Chris Sr., good job. Hey, you guys who watch this, try to think of a way for me to blame the boy for this. Of course, it's not exactly time sensitive. I'm going to have to take those mufflers off and put new adapters on there anyway. I chewed them up pretty badly getting the old tailpipes out. They were stuck on there pretty good. Oh yeah, and I don't think those adapters are going to fit for these larger tailpipes anyway. So yeah, I'll have to take the mufflers off, do some cutting and welding on them too. Good times. That's it for today. I'm just going to leave these things to dry. Chris Jr. will be home tomorrow, but we both have to go to work immediately after he gets home. So it'll probably be a couple more days before I take the mufflers off, start jacking with that. And then hopefully we can also get his H-pipe installed here soon. To the parts store in the reliable car. The world just seems wrong saying that, but it's true right now. The mufflers are off. That took like 10 minutes. They did not fight at all. Super easy, which is a very bad thing. That means something else is going to go horribly, horribly wrong very soon. That's just how things work around here. I'm 99% sure this is a 2.5 necked down to a 2 1/4 that's just been spread out and stretched out. I think if I can get a 2.5 slide all the way in there, that'll adapt that. I can weld on a 2.5, slide that all the way in. But I'm going to take it down to the parts store and see. I'm back from the parts store. I should be able to take this, weld that up on the end of the exhaust pipe, come over to the muffler, cut this off here. This ought to be 2.5 inch OD, and then stick this all the way in there, but this is crimped down, so I got to cut that away. So I cut that down, and this does fit. Fits a little too well. I can't get it out. Ugh, good grief. Both mufflers are done. Not the cleanest jobs in the world, but oh well. Ugh, and now I need to clean these up and weld those together. It isn't beautiful, but the first one is done. Hate to admit it, but I wish the boy was here to do this for me. He is better at this than I am now. They're both done. First one went pretty well. The second one was cut at such a funky angle the pipes wouldn't meet up, so I had to fill it all in, and I'm not very good at that, but it is filled in. There's no light coming through, and it's strong, so time to put it back together. The mufflers are loosely hung, and now let's see if I can get the pipe stabbed in less than 20 tries. One of my concerns was confirmed. These are too long. I probably should have cut this down on this end, but now I'm going to have to cut this down probably a solid inch just to have a chance to stab these things. This is not going all that well. Both muffler hangers are going to have to move, or tailpipe hangers are going to have to move again. But these things are so awkward, it's unreal. This one is about right, except it's riding on the gas tank, and I can't get that to clearance very easily. But they're both short. No matter what I do, both pipes are just barely, they're not even going to reach the end of the bumper. They're definitely not going to stick out. So they're fitting really, really weird, and I don't know why. That side over there keeps hitting the control arm no matter what I do. This side is only hitting the gas tank and everything else is fine. I got to clearance that gas tank flap, and this one will be okay. That one over there has got multiple issues that I can't figure out. It's very frustrating. I do not know what is going on here. I cannot get these things to line up straight. You can see that one over there is aimed up normally. This one is not. I'm about to lose my mind here. I think I'm gonna fire it up real quick just to see what they sound like. Sounds like it used to sound, but just cannot get these tailpipes right. These things are frustrating me to no end. This is frustrating. It's got to be that exhaust leak at the headers. This thing's popping through the mufflers, and it never did that before. That's annoying. I'm gonna have to jack up the front end now and try to fix that H-pipe. Yeah, those exhaust leaks up front have gotten worse. I'm gonna have to put it up and fix that. It sounds fine out back. Sounds like absolute trash up here. I can't believe that's that far off. Unreal. Yeah, this exhaust pipe, both exhaust pipes are at horrible angles, aimed down like GT pipes, or like 87 to 93 GT pipes, like turn downs. I don't know why. I'll have to jack with that once I fix the front exhaust leaks. I'm back under the black car and I've discovered a couple of things. Our biggest exhaust leak is we blew out the center section of this O2 sensor. So that's a huge exhaust leak. Also, yeah, the headers are just off center just a little. If it wasn't for the O2 sensors, this O2 sensor wouldn't be nearly as bad, but both of these are off center. The pipe's just not on there just quite straight. So I'm gonna try to fix that. The driver's side is done. I was able to loosen that down here in the middle, line it back up, and I think I've got a really good seal on the driver's side header now. The passenger side, not so much. It is all one piece connected to the pro chamber. I wish it wasn't, and it is really being difficult. I'm putting the jack under to try to press it into place because it just does not want to go. It has been another hour, but I think I finally have this thing done. The driver's side went on okay. I just had to loosen it, reline it up. It was on there cockeyed. It went pretty straight, pretty easy. This passenger side was actually torqued out towards the outside of the car. The tube was actually twisted. There's a lot of hammering, a lot of bending, a lot of prying. I had to take the mufflers off. I had to recurve the hangers. I had to torque the whole thing this way a little bit to try to get it on there, but I genuinely think I have two good seals on the headers now. They feel great all the way around. I was able to feel a gap before. I think this thing will actually seal now. Somehow, some way, I do not have a single bolt with the thread pattern for an oxygen sensor I can put in there. So I'm going to weld this thing shut on the end, put this nut and bolt in here and weld it all into one giant plug and try to close up that port that way. Perfect and beautiful. Alright, that's it. Everything's back together and I genuinely feel that I have a better seal on it than I did before. Hopefully this is going to work. If not, I'm going to be tempted to throw the other H-pipe back on it and then just leave Chris Jr.'s car completely alone and leave it stock. Let's see what it sounds like. You have got to be kidding me. sounds better than it did, but it isn't perfect. Damn it. I just tortured myself. I warmed up the car, heated up the exhaust, crawled back under there, and tightened the pipe back to the headers after all the metal had heated and expanded. Tightened everything back down again, and there was some more slack now that the metal's hot. Let's try this one more time. Come on, baby. Alright, that is not perfect. It is better, not great. Let's see what it sounds like with the hood closed. It is ever so slight. Right up in here, you can hear it just a little in the fender. It's gonna have to be good enough for now. That is extremely frustrating. It's just enough to drive my OCD crazy, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. I'm not messing with it anymore. I'll deal with my jacked up crooked tailpipes when I rebuild the rear end. Let's see if it still backfires with the exhaust leaks mostly fixed. It does not. Great. So it really was all that extra air coming into the engine. That's awesome. It has been a few minutes, and I'm pretty sure that exhaust leak is getting worse. Damn it. It is all driver's side. The side that went together a lot easier and smoother and seemed to be doing a lot better. I don't get it. It's gonna drive me crazy. I have a little bit of time today, so I'm back under the black car again to figure out what the deal is with these tailpipes, these 2.5-inch pipes I got. And it's driving me crazy. They're centered over the axle. They're where they're supposed to be. They're lined up. And look how short and tiny these things are. They hang at a funky angle. They're too far inboard. The old pipes would sit right here. They would sit right up in here and come out, and they stuck out to about here, and you'd actually see them. When this car's on the ground, you can't see them at all. They essentially disappear. They're too far inboard, and they're just too stubby, and I don't know why. Call me crazy, but I'm seriously considering cutting my pipes here, and cutting my pipes here, and buying 2.5-inch extender and pushing this out further this way a couple of inches, and then bringing this out a couple of inches across here. It'll be pretty cheap, but it will involve me slicing up my new tailpipes. But both sides fit like that, and I can't stand it. They're both too short, and they're both too narrow, and I don't know why. Thought about hacking this part and bringing the whole tailpipe out this way, but that runs the risk of running afoul of this tire, because when the axle's all the way in running position up, this tire probably only has about a finger width clearance here, which is also a problem, because this is only a 245. Here's the tire at ride height, and it's just about a finger width, palm width in there. And I just realized that is that rust patch. That was a dent that had rusted out. They dented that for wheel clearance. They must have been running a fatter, wider tire, because that's exactly where that dent was that had the rust hole through it that I had to weld shut. Huh. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm going to extend this little straight section here, try to bring this pipe over, and then run it out here. And if I do that, I may not even have to add pipe into here. It may just come across here and bring this pipe out here naturally. I guess we'll see. I got the first pipe off. Good grief, these Moroso wheel studs are just rusting like crazy. That's unreal. Speaking of cheap equipment, what is up with these Sawzall blades? This is Craftsman. The moment it touches something, it heats up and warps. Pure garbage. This side looks pretty straightforward. If I extend this out, I can essentially make the pipe wherever I want it, no problem. Guess I'd never really noticed how differently shaped these pipes were. This one over here, the section before the straight piece coming down at an angle, if I cut it, I'm going to lower the pipe. So I can extend it and push it out a little, but that's going to be lowering this thing. I actually need to cut it out here to bring it out, and then cut it here to lengthen. I guess I'm just going to lengthen it here because this one sits further outboard than the other one did. Alright, the other one is off. I am back from the store with exhaust and exhaust accessories. Now to figure this out. This is about what I'm going for here. I want the pipes sticking out. I want them a little further outboard. So I got to try to fill this gap, and that'll be great. None of this was really wanting to work and line up, so I had to do what I should have done originally. I got the jack out and gave the pipe a little bit of an attitude and an altitude adjustment. Raised this up from aiming down, and now I've pretty much have what I want. I might bring it in another inch or so, but that's basically what I was looking for. I think I'm ready to get the welder and tack this together. I think I have the angle that I want on these pipes. I think I've got them sticking out how far I want them, and I think they're about even side to side. This pipe is done. Here are my ugly booger welds. They're not pretty, but there's no light transmitting through the pipe, and they are 360 degree welded, and they're, let's see if I can touch this, yep, nice and strong and solid. Good enough for the girls I date and the exhaust we weld. Little black high temp exhaust paint, and we're good to go. Will an eagle-eyed observer be able to see that? Yeah, probably. No, I don't really care that much. I like it and I'm happy. The other side is welded up. Alright. Sure, you can see the welded spot from the side, but I don't really care. You can now see my awesome black tailpipes. This one you can't really see unless you really get down here. But I mean, an eagle-eyed observer might be able to see it, but I do like the way they look. They both aim up a little more, follow the lines of the body a little bit, stick out just a little bit. So I'm happier with this, and that's all that matters. Let's see what they sound like. Sound the same back here. Let's make sure they don't pop and backfire. Make sure there are no new additional exhaust leaks. That's 5,000 RPMs. No backfire. Good deal. Since my OCD is driving me absolutely insane, my plan for tomorrow is to come out when it's cool and try to put some copper exhaust sealant around the header intakes where the header meets the Mac Pro chamber pipe. Try to seal up these slight exhaust leaks. Most people won't even notice, but it bothers me. Hopefully I can do that tomorrow. The reality is, almost no one can hear those exhaust leaks except me, and they're still driving me crazy. My OCD is going crazy again. This pipe clearly sticks out at least half an inch further than this one. Oh my God, to the point I'm actually considering cutting half an inch out of that. No, hold yourself, Chris. Stop it. They're fine. They look great. Leave it alone. I'm going to take one last crack trying to get these to seal I think I see the issue. They're not on there completely straight. The angle is just a little off. We're going to try to smear some gasket seal up there, some copper exhaust gasket seal. See if we can get those things to seal up, because I don't have any intention of taking this off anytime soon. But before I do that, I am going to try to loosen this back bolt and see if I can, or tighten this back bolt, loosen this front bolt, see if I can line this up just a little bit better on here. Got the driver's side done. You can see I loosened the pipe as much as possible. Put as much gasket seal in there as possible and tightened it back. I started tightening the back bolt this time because most of the leak was in the back. Hopefully that's going to work. This one is a side-to-side alignment. You can actually see where this has been leaking here. You can see how far over this is. So this is pushed over to the side. I keep trying to pry on it, keep trying to get it to go to the side, and it's just completely immobile. Alright, I had Junior pry on this with a pry bar. Same thing, packed in as much gasket seal as I could get in there with my finger, and then just tightened it down, and it's as good as it's going to get. It's the best we can do. Gotta hope it works, but we are done one way or another. It's time to see if this worked. It's 100 degrees in Texas. This stuff's been curing for hours and it feels dry to the touch. Whether it works or not, one way or another, this particular project is over. I have to return to work tonight and be gone the next several days into next week. So hopefully this works. It is not perfect. Sounds like it's mostly the passenger side again, where that tube just won't line up straight, but it's livable. I guess I'll just live with it. Not horrible on the driver's side. Tolerable on the passenger side. Sounds great back here. I guess I'm gonna chalk this one up as a win and move on. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. The next time you see this car, the black car, the Piece of Stang, I'll be rebuilding the rear end, which is why the car doesn't actually move in this video. Yeah, remember when I screwed that up a couple months ago? It's probably only gone 20 miles since then. I sort of kind of got bogged down with another hoopty piece of garbage project car. But anyway, I'll be either rebuilding the rear end in this one or the rear end of that one because it's leaking like crazy, or doing the suspension on that one, or God only knows. But hopefully I'll be back soon doing something. Appreciate you watching. Thank you. God bless.